Tja, guten Tag. No, we're doing this in English, right?
Yes.
Hello, a very warm welcome to this session. For at the Broadcast Innovation Day about the roundtable discussion, a discussion about what we do with high human interface and so on. Let me say who I am. My name is Igor. I'm product manager of the high human interface control system. Before I did this, I was working as an EIC and some broadcast events. And now I'm here, and now I'm super happy to work with this exciting control system. So some people say they hear us twice. But no, not by the microphones.
But I also hear myself here in the ear.
That's interesting. La la la. Let me just have a look on this monitor, which is far too small. Aha.
Technical issues.
This stream is not managed by high human interface control system. All right. I said something about me. Humphrey, say something about you.
Yes. Hi, my name is Humphrey. I'm as well the product manager of Hi. And in my previous life, I was also product manager of another control system on the market. So I have almost 20 years of broadcast control system experience in the world. And I'm also very proud to be part of the Hi team and to take this new journey with a new approach on control systems. And we are very happy to have this session today. It's the one and only roundtable discussion here in Broadcast Solutions Innovation Days. That means that we like to interactively talk to you guys and share some experience, maybe some concern, ideas whatsoever. So of course we have limited time, so we will guide you a little bit through these things, but you are always welcome later on after the session to book a meeting with us. You find the details on the website as well. Call us, Skype us, Zoom us, whatever. We will be there. Right.
One important thing to say, this is the roundtable discussion, so I see only a few people joined in the Zoom meeting, and probably some other people are watching the YouTube stream. So if you want to engage with us and discuss with us, you should leave the YouTube stream and enter the Zoom meeting, because that's the way how we can talk to each other. So happy if some people I see already too. That's great. Hello there. I would be happy if some of you came and joined our discussion here. And you know, Humphrey, we're super stupid because we only have one sheet of paper where our script is. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe starting. I'm not going to put this here. Maybe starting a bit. How did this all start, or where did we come from? Why the world needs yet another control system when there is already so many out there in the market. We started this thing like three and a half years ago by investigating existing control solutions on the market. So the core business of Broadcast Solutions is system integration. So we are building broadcast systems, we're building OB-Van studios and so on. And of course we use a lot of control systems in there for the various reasons. Bigger ones for bigger trucks, smaller ones, and so on. And we saw that there is actually some parts where we could improve, or that could get better. And from my experience, what I did before, I mentioned I was working in OB-Vans for a few years and touching various control systems. I also was frustrated myself how complex and hard it is to do some just basic setup and basic configuration. So together with Rainer Kampe, our CTO, we sat down and we tried to find a better concept, or try to find a concept. How could this work easier in a better way? And having that question in our mind: is there even an easier way to make this work, or is the way that everyone else was doing it that time, is it already the best way? Because and we had various ideas, and what we made then is kind of a prototype that we used to to gather feedback from different partners, friends, customers, and we actually did that at IBC 2017. So we had a small whisper suite. Just gonna show that picture here. So it was like Broadcast Solutions always has an outside booth at IBC, and it's a quite large one. So somewhere in the back between the dustbins and the cans with beer and wine, we had the like 3 square meters, where we actually put up a kind of zombie setup, which was that prototype control system featuring some of the ideas that later made it into High. And then some stuff that we can actually control, the MediaNet and so on. The reason for that was that we wanted to show the ideas and the concepts to some friends and customers. And we didn't do that alone. We had great help from 2 colleagues that were working in Hungary. That was that IBC, and that was actually the moment when I met you, Humphrey.
Right.
Because
funny moment.
funny story. Because Humphrey also got a demo from in this room, but Humphrey was working for another control system manufacturer and had a had a nice pin here, and I was not really knowing what should I actually show him? Should I tell him all of our ideas right now?
So I tried to have all the details from him, but he didn't tell me at that time.
Yeah.
So I tried my best, but unfortunately I didn't succeed. So was a funny experience at that time as well. Yeah. Yeah, but we really have the luck that basically with the 2 guys from Hungary, we had 2 developers, so to say, which also know broadcast business. So the whole team, beside Igor, myself, Rainer, was then basically completed by these 2 guys, because we decided later on, after that successfully proof of concept on the IBC show 2017, we decided to start with the development. At that time, of course, I was not part of Broadcast Solutions, so I joined the team in 2018, January. But it was really, it was a perfect match at that time. Yeah, we really started talking to each other. They understood us, we understood them, and it was a great start. And the whole thing basically was very fast, so to say, on air already. So we started the development in December 2017, and already in February 2018, I think, we did the first live presentation, or basically the live show with the system on the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang in right, yeah.
That. Yeah.
So it was a fast start, yeah, and then of course the launch of the product was basically IBC 2018. Yeah, so it was also a very good show for us at that time. So we not necessarily, let's say, were expecting so many good feedback, but it was enormous. So thanks a lot for that. The first year was already quite good in regards to project. We did a lot. We had in the meantime, we have over 60 projects done already in 2.5 years of the life of High, basically, our very young shark. So yeah, it's a
baby shark. Yeah.
it's still a baby shark, yeah, but somewhere it will be the big shark. Yeah, so it's a funny story. Yeah, right. Yeah. So now I have to steal the script again, because I have to spy. Right. So basically, there is of course a mission behind that. Igor mentioned it already. The idea is to make the life for the control people more easy. So what we see currently on the market is that we have control systems which are very hard to configure, very hard to understand. So the entry level where you can really start doing things you want to do is quite high. So you need a lot of training, or you spend thousands of euros to basically let your system configure and you just work with it. And this was something what we want to change. And the idea behind that was as well, with all these IP discussions in mind, that the market is talking about IP here, IP there, 2110, streaming everywhere. So this kind of router presentation was almost obsolete. So we were thinking of doing it completely different, and that was basically the idea of high, and to also basically have a very dynamic environment. Yeah, so IP in the future will be dynamic. You connect a camera on switch 1 and it should work there. You connect it on switch 2 in Studio 2 and it should work there. So the whole thing needs to be dynamic. And this was, of course, something what was from the first minute part of the system. But at the same time, we said this system also has to work with baseband installations. Yeah? So it's not that it is only IP. It will be IP, and it is designed for IP in mind, but it also works for baseband installations. We just recently did the Dante integration, so it's a perfect Dante control system. And yeah, so you not necessarily need a domain controller. You can directly use a high system, use user rights management, and the whole thing is up and running. Yeah.
So I think one important thing that we always keep in mind, or kept in mind, we actually still do, is how can the system be made that way that it is simple to understand and really easy and fast to operate? So the idea isn't that to create a super flexible and system that will cover 120% of every edge case that you could possibly find, but on the other hand, it should be so easy, and we try to predefine a lot and guide the user in the right direction in the moment. So the goal is like the same way when you buy a phone, you don't get a 400-page manual with it that you first have to read or need to take a week of training until you get somewhere with it. You just turn it on. Maybe you will have a small guide that tells you, hey, press here to do whatever.
And actually the Nokia phone had a big manual, but the Apple phone nowadays has no big manual anymore. Yeah, so it's
and kind of an interesting idea there as well, like this maybe that comparison. Do you have there was already the perfect phone. Like, okay, I have a phone, I can write messages with it, I can call someone with it, maybe I can even listen to music. Okay, what else do I need?
Right,
yeah. And someone came with the idea to make a phone that has only a touch screen and that could go to the internet, and everyone wanted, but why do I need that? And still now everyone has that in his pocket and does not necessarily have the Nokia whatever.
Right. Yeah.
At least if he isn't a super hipster. But
Right. Yeah. So basically, this brings us a little bit where we are today. So today, of course, we are focusing on live production environments. So that means the system is not yet ready for master control rooms, big facilities where we need special functionalities. We are focusing right now on live production, OB trucks, big OB trucks, small OB trucks. Very important point, our system is also designed to work also for small systems. So everybody out there which is interested in putting a control layer in a small Sprinter or in a small SNG vehicle, it's the perfect match. Yeah? The whole system can run on a tiny little Intel NUC PC, and you have a full-blown control system which you can operate with your UI. Yeah? We of course have also hardware panels. Yeah? So this is the new type of hardware panel we have right now. It's just released, brand new. So it's the Mark III, already the third generation of our hardware panel. It has better buttons this time, or it means better different buttons. It's not a better button, it's a full colored button. Before it was an OLED button with a color stripe, and basically with this we have a more space, so to say, to show colored text information. Yeah. Beside that one, the idea behind the redesign of that panel was to enable a USB port, which of course you can load your smartphone with it, but that's not the whole idea behind that thing. We're also thinking forward to do a kind of second factor authentication,
two-factor authentication, or maybe we'll get some other ideas what you can actually connect to a hardware panel that would make your operations easier. Thinking of a big knob for loudness control,
right? Yeah, or maybe
or
an
a
NFC
keypad
chip,
or NFC chip reader. So with this generation, we're giving just the platform for future expansion tools, and already now you can charge your smartphone with it. So that's
right. Yeah. So the funny thing is to really start with a system. As I said, for small installations, you are good to go for a 3,000 euro package. You have the software, purely software package without any hardware, basically, and then you are good to control your different devices in the system. Yeah. So this is quite good. Yeah, so actually there was quite one funny, interesting things if it comes to simplicity. So once we had an engineer from us traveling from here, Frankfurt area, to Berlin, and he funny, he said, as he was back, actually the travel was longer than the commissioning on site. So the time he spent to set up the OB truck, it was a tiny little one, of course, yeah, was done in a few hours, and he could actually travel back at the same time. So this is also one key point, one key element which we want to reach with our system. Zero touch technology, easy configuration, to do the whole thing more user friendly, let's say. You not necessarily need to be an engineer, yeah, and this is the good thing. And we also get the feedback from big players on the market as well, where they said, oh, this is the first time I actually feel confident to configure my system, yeah, and it's really a cool thing, and we are proud that we reached that level of easiness, so to say. Yeah.
But I think the point is that we don't want to stop there, and we know that we're not like a finished or like a product that we made and now, hey, please take it, buy it, and leave us alone. Like this is not the way how we want to work on that. We know that this is like 3 years old, top, and of course we can do certain things. Like Humphrey mentioned, we're like our main homeland is like the live production side of things, so OB vans, studios, and these kind of things, and that's where we came from, building it, and that's where we're good at the moment. Yeah. And we know that we're not good at bigger facility management, multi-studio delegation.
We are not yet there, but
we're not yet there, and we know, and that's the point I want to make. It's not that we say, okay, we have a product that's finished, please take it. We see ourselves kind of on a journey with this product, and this is what we can do now. In a year, we'll be able to do more and other things. And for us, it's very important not to develop these ideas only for ourselves in our office and putting them down on paper and developing them. But we actually want to have the feedback from you guys, like from people who are actually using the system, who would say, hey, maybe this is a good idea, or maybe what you did there is not a good idea at all. So we're not interested in designing the system ourselves. We're interested in designing it together with you guys, our customers, or our engineers in the field out there that actually are using this every day in a real environment. Because we can, of course, test a lot in the office, and we have a lab, and that's all good and fine, but it's not quite the same thing, right?
Yeah. So basically our journey goes, as Igor said, it's daily development, daily growing system, and we already have customers which talk to us in regards to master control room. So definitely next year will be the year of the master control room functionality. So we hope that you guys can also give us some feedback there, what is needed, what you want to see in such a system. We also have ideas which we are happy to share with you in private sessions, so you could also book us tomorrow or whenever it fits for you. You know the details where to find us, so we are very happy to share the information with you. Of course, yeah, as I said, next year, Master Control Room, we will continue working on NMOS. NMOS implementation should be ready very soon.
As I said, next year.
Sorry, I just wanted to open a chat, but so there is no chat. That's what I saw.
So actually, the NMOS stuff should be ready beginning next year, first quarter, something like that. And this is also something what we would like to push, because actually the NMOS implementation we see as the mission, or the way to make IP easy and controllable. Because what we also see right now on the market is that you have a lot of control systems which try to implement third-party drivers, what was the business for years for them to develop that stuff. I mean, that was, I would say, 80% of the business. Develop a driver here, develop a driver there, do it this way. With IP, of course, you could think it's the same way. Oh, what could be different? Implementing a protocol is not that hard. So, yeah, the thing is, the protocol as such is not that hard, but the information which will be exchanged between the sender device and the receiver device, this is quite different. So even if it should be standardized, let's say in one or the other 2110 gremiums, it's unfortunately not 100% standardized, and it gives room for interpretation. And that means that when a manufacturer A put that information in the protocol and manufacturer B puts it in a slightly different way, then this thing will not match to each other if you copy paste, so to say, the configuration from A to B, that the B device receives the stream. And this is something which, of course, a control system could try to fulfill, to maybe adjust the values in that way, or to put in other information into that data which is required from a different third-party device. But the thing is that every time you put in a new firmware of a third-party device, potentially something else is changing. So instead of focusing on workflows and maybe easiness, what we want to do, you are fully, let's say, nailed down in driver adoption, driver development. And this is something which, of course, we can do in some special cases, but we see it a little different, maybe, as others are doing. We believe that NMOS is the right way to go, to do the basic routing, to do the 80-90% routing in the system, where it is even maybe not needed to have the fastest routing, because maybe our competition is saying, yeah, NMOS is too slow, all good. Yeah, we know that as well, that NMOS is maybe not the fastest way to make switches, but for 10% of the, let's say, really quick switches, which are necessarily the clean switches, you anyhow have to find another solution, and therefore we can implement different protocols as well and make this adoption. But then you have 90% of the infrastructure standardized, easy to use, yeah, and the 10%, of course, we also try to implement in the system that it is easy to use, but it could be that, of course, some adaptation is needed there. Yeah.
So what I think is I really would like to push NMOS in this whole thing, because the bigger the systems get and the more different devices you have, the harder this fight will get, right? So you have different devices from different manufacturers, each one speaking their own protocol. Oh, all right, giving you more options what you can do with the device, like switch faster, change parameters inside it, whatever. But maybe, the user wants the basic thing first, and so the more of these various devices you have, the more, some controlling instance, some system needs to learn each and every taste of that device, taste of a protocol. They all say they speak Ember Plus, but yeah, well, right, maybe they understand some things differently and so on. And I think this industry, or this IP thing, should move into that direction. Let's do NMOS for everything that it's supposed to do, and then if you need more stuff to control on the device itself, then let's go for a custom protocol. That is all fine. Yeah. And of course, the number of devices you need to control is a lot higher in IP environments. Right. You're not controlling a router there, but you're actually controlling all of your edge devices, because it just works that way.
This is also something which is very important in our system, that the infrastructure as such, so how the system is designed, it's running on Kubernetes together with some microservices. So this is I would say the ideal approach to also grow the system, basically. So as Igor said, in the old times, you basically have the baseband router with one router connection. And of course, in the future, you have multiple end nodes, which all requires a remote connectivity. And then let's think of, you have one PC with one software, which always have to talk to 800 devices at the same time, then of course the CPU performance and the whole machine basically is under very heavy load, and this whole concept. And with this microservice approach and Kubernetes, we can of course load the balance across multiple servers. Yeah, so right now in live production it doesn't make sense to implement 10 servers or something like that. We run with 3 servers to have a high available cluster. But of course, the idea is behind that in facilities to grow with it, to scale it up, yeah, and then maybe you end up by having 3 physical machines, but a cluster of a virtual machine somewhere else in parallel, yeah. So the whole software is also capable to be virtualized. So there's no need to physically put in a server somewhere, yeah. So it really is built to scale from small up to facilities. This is really the good thing.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe a question is
we talked a lot, but the problem is if we put these things in, we hear ourselves. We hear ourselves with a delay of 3 seconds. That's
right.
Do we have a chance? Question: is there some questions that popped up in a chat or something that would be interesting to talk about?
Not yet. Mach noch mal Werbung für den Link.
Yeah.
Dazu kommen könnte,
If you want to talk with us, we just say it again, please. You can take the Zoom link that you will find on the swap card page of this event, and you can join the Zoom conversation and ask questions if you want,
or give us feedback, positive or negative. We can only be better if you give feedback.
That's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right.
All right then. So hope
there's enough chances to give us feedback. Also, not in this meeting.
Yeah.
Just like Humphrey said, you can contact us over this swap card application website. There you'll also find our contact details where you can find us. This is the camera outside of swap card. Thank you for listening. Sorry for technical trouble. And yeah, thank you very much. Hope to see you soon.
Right. Goodbye and stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Bye-bye.